Millie, and I just wanted to talk about like the A-level results and the GCSE results and how they've been assessed this year. Because so I'm 18 and I just would have sat my A-level results, didn't get to because of, you know, your boy Rona, but obviously that puts us all in a difficult situation. I think we all agree we're all in a difficult situation, unless like you got A stars, then I don't know. I didn't. I got U's in my GCS in my A levels. I just sat my A levels because I took biology and chemistry, which I got U's in, and a merit in music. Luckily, my university offered me an unconditional offer a few days before the results day, so I still got my placement. However, I've been on YouTube like all week, watching people open their results, and you know, because obviously not all universities are doing that. My university did, obviously, so I'm in a lucky situation, but obviously for some people it's not, and I'm a little bit fucked off, to be honest, because I don't think I deserve U's. No, I don't. E's, I think E's would have been good, because I don't think we should have been graded on a standardization, because that, I'm not articulating this well enough, but I don't think we should have been graded on a standardization, and I know they're going back, and I know that they're changing it, but at the end of the day, they fucked up. They did fuck up. Because at the end of the day, who knows us better? Grades, or like just, or a teacher, you know? For example, we didn't get to sit our March mocks, and I was diagnosed with autism back in December. So and it was like, wasn't it like a week before the mocks that, yeah, that we got put onto lockdown? I apologise. I can't speak very well. I have a stutter, and yeah. So I've lost my train of thought. So we got put on lockdown like a week before the mocks, and I was diagnosed with autism, and I was getting learning support put in place, and learning and exam help put in place for the March mocks. Thus, because for small things, you know, like there was 2 clocks in my exam hall for my biology mock, and it threw me off guard. So they gave me earplugs so that it would distract me. However, the exam board, I can't remember what it's called, off-call or something, I can't remember. But they wouldn't know that. And yes, I know this is like a week late, because, you know, they're going back, they're changing it. But the point is, the damage has been done. The damage has been done. They should have just went with this in the first place. Because what I find so funny is exams haven't been cancelled for like mass cancellations for like 160 years. So I think it's bullshit that they are being so strict and restrictive with the way that the exams were done. Something that pissed me off at the start of lockdown and the start of like all of this was the fact that at the start, when they were told you're not going to sit your A levels or your GCSEs, a lot of universities were going around and they were giving unconditional offers because, you know, that's fair. And the government and the exam board were like, no, don't do that. Okay, which is weird. And that brings me on to one of a worry that I have, is because I have an unconditional offer for the university that I'm going to. But if they change the exam results and hypothetically I still get a U, something that I'm worried about is, are they able to take my unconditional offer away? Because knowing the government, probably, because, you know, who cares about our futures, you know. Yeah. I don't know why I'm making this or what this is. I'm very frustrated with the way that this was handled, with the lack of because there was a lack of communication from the government to students. There was a lack of communication from universities to students. I don't know what your university has been doing and how your university has been contacting you, but mine hasn't said anything about the year at all. I know that one module's in person, the rest are online, but obviously I only live like 3 hours away from the university that I'm going to. So I had to phone up and ask what's happening this year, because nobody was telling me anything. My teachers stopped contacting me and stopped, because you know how like we had like the Google Classrooms and they were contacting you and telling you everything was happening. They still use it, but they don't contact you and explain things anymore, which in terms of like applications, applying for things and finance and accommodation and all of these things, we didn't get any help with because of Rona and not being able to be in touch with the teachers and staff, because obviously they're going to prioritise the students that are still in the school, and obviously they wouldn't have any ties with us in June anyway, but it would have been nice for them to be more on it. And obviously Boris, I mean, I'm probably just about as just as good as articulating my points as he is at this point, but you know, at least I'm not giving very important advice to the whole country, you know. But he's not very good, is he? I'm sorry if you're a Tory. 4 people are gonna watch. Let's be real. 4 people are gonna watch this. I'm sorry if you're a Tory and I'm offending you, but he's not very good, is he? I don't know if a Labour government would have done any better. It's interesting times, isn't it? Really is quite an interesting environment we are in. But I've lost my train of thought. But like everything's just like so wild at the moment with like the whole thing, because like if you think about it in terms of like the entirety of the 2-year course that you've done, GCSEs are 2 years as well, aren't they? Yes, they are. the entirety of the two, well, if you're doing A-levels, it's not even just 2 years, it's the entire 13 years that you are in education, from like year 1 or year R, reception if you count that, all the way up to 18 years old. And a lot of people, because of this standardization and stuff like that, haven't been able, like, the whole of their education has just gone to waste. And I wanted to be a doctor at the start of my A levels. When I went to sixth form studying biology, chemistry, maths, and music performance. Thank God I chose music performance, because I got every single time I went to my music class, I got asked, "Hey, are you gonna drop this course yet? Are you gonna drop this course yet? Are you gonna drop this course yet? So you can prioritize your others, you know, so you can pass the exams." That we didn't do. I digress. I am on a completely different train of thought here, but the amount, like, I don't know. I'm not happy with the way that schools have treated year 13 and, or at least me in general. I don't want to speak for anyone else. Because it's small things really. Because obviously we couldn't be in school because it was very dangerous. But you know, there was things that they could have done. If they could do virtual classes, they could do a virtual leavers assembly, they could do a virtual prom. It wouldn't be very good, but it's something, you know. I think, yeah, I don't know. When I was at my, at results day, my chemistry teacher, because he's also deputy head of sixth form, was also there, and he was sort of standing, so, like, we were there, like, on, like, UCAS, like, looking to make sure that, like, just, like, seeing that I have an unconditional offer, and I'll be like, oh, that's really good, I'm very pleased. I still failed my A-levels, but at least I got in, because I passed the only subject that I really cared about in the end, because who really likes chemistry? Nomenclature? Is that how you pronounce it? Nomenclature? I don't know. I'm on a tangent. But yeah, he was sort of standing there off to the side. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gave me a U, because he hated me. But at the end of the day, I would rather receive a U from my teachers, from the teachers that taught me and know my capabilities and see me day in, day out and understand my strengths and weaknesses, because I'm much more comfortable receiving a U from him than a random white guy in a suit who sits in an office and just looks at grades, because they don't know to be honest, it's not just this year that's fucked, is it? Let's be real. Let's be really real here. All exams are kind of fucked. Because I got to, now that I think about it, because what the exams that you take, a grade on a piece of paper from exams that you took when you were 16 years old and 18 years old, bearing in mind life expectancy goes up to about 80 to 100, so that's like a good, I don't know, like a fifth of your life. And you have to have your job prospects. You have to know what you want to do for the next 35 years. You have to know that, don't you? You just have to know what you're going to do with the rest of your life at such a young age. And the exams that you take, the options that you choose, everything like that affects what you do for the rest of your life, and affects, I'm gonna say it affects your quality of life, because everyone's like, oh, it's just a job, isn't it? But that's what gets you up in the morning. You know, there are loads of like jokes like, oh, I hate my job, and I personally don't want to be that person. But yeah, and also like just exams in general, because like a certain percentage have to fail in an exam, a certain percentage have to fail. Why do they have to fail? Like, I don't know. Because like, I genuinely apologize. I'm not articulate in speech. Speech is not good for me. I'm a vocalist, okay? Ironically enough, I took acting lessons since I was about 4, and I still can't speak for shit. I have a stutter, so I really apologize if anyone is actually, you know, going to watch this. But a certain percentage, you know, only like this many people are allowed to get A stars, this many people are allowed to get this, and it's in proportion to the rest of the area. So if everyone else in the course does really, really well, that means that you're likely to have a lower grade. If the country does really, really poorly, you're likely to have a higher grade. And I don't understand. Why is it both? Why is it both a ranking order? It doesn't make sense to me, because we're just adding so many layers and layers and layers of difficultness. I don't know. And we're just adding layers and layers that make it more and more difficult to get the grades that we need to get into careers that we want to do. Do they not want doctors? Do they not want lawyers? Do they not want teachers? Do they not want people to go to university? I don't know, because I feel like they are making it harder every year. I feel like it is getting harder and harder for people to get into universities, because, you know, university enrollment is quite low at the moment. It is quite low at the moment. You know, my university's audition based, so I'm fine. But yeah, do they not want people to be in these jobs, in these roles? Because clearly not. This video is getting a bit too long, and I think I've missed the point. If you have watched all the way through, thank you very much. Like and subscribe and comment. Also, comment your opinions on the A-levels. I'd love to find out some of your experiences and what's happening with you. And yeah, thank you. Bye.